human intelligence. The AI today is, on the one hand, is very capable. With a large amount of data, it can learn to make decisions better than people in single domains. But it cannot have any complexity, creativity, or self-awareness or compassion as humans. So on an economic side, it's a tremendous opportunity to use AI for almost every industrial application and really dramatically improve the efficacy, reduce the costs, and create value, and even disrupt many industries. So it's a very exciting time for people to put AI as a part of industries and companies and applications. In many ways.
Buenos días, mi nombre es Alex y me gustaría saber qué trabajos van a ser los más afectados por la inteligencia artificial y sobre todo cuáles son los trabajos del futuro.
Okay, artificial intelligence, because it's doing single domain optimization, it will certainly impact jobs in many different ways. For jobs that are purely routine, repetitive, requiring no creativity or compassion, those jobs are going to be most in danger. For cognitive jobs, things like back office processing of numbers, people who drag and drop spreadsheets and numbers and send emails routinely, administrative work, assistant work, that is likely to be displaced. For people who follow simple templates, people in customer service, I get an email, they ask this question, I look at the answer, copy and paste. They call, they ask a question, I find the answer, I read it to them. Those are very routine, those will be replaced. So jobs that are, particularly these are white-collar cognitive work, but they're not really very complex cognitive work. They're work that take 5 or 10 seconds of thinking, and then it gets done, and it's within a single domain, so AI can do those. So think about routine, repetitive jobs. Jobs that have use our perception, so a receptionist, checking if someone who is what they say they are, checking the ID. We already see when we enter many countries, we no longer talk to a human about who looks at us and compare with our passports. Now AI can do that. So for cognitive, hearing, vision-based, AI can do that. For blue-collar work, it will depend on whether the job is in the same location, repeating the same task. Those will be replaced first. So someone who is examining the size of the shirts, whether the IC board or the mobile phone has a scratch, those things can be done by AI much better. In fact, detecting a scratch on an object on the phone is much better done by AI because it's not just using camera, it's using a depth sensor. So if there's a scratch, the depth will change. Humans have a hard time to do that. In fact, humans, their eyes will go bad if they check for scratches every day, so those will be replaced. Some jobs like agriculture will be further automated. In the future, you can have AI robots that plant seeds, that water and fertilize just the right amount. You can have drones that will do the seeding, so a lot of that will be automated. In the factory, visual inspection, repetitive work on the assembly line, and also in the warehouses, the logistics for moving boxes around, routing boxes and letters to people, physical objects, logistics, shipping, that will be very much automated. People who drive forklifts, people who drive the cars to mines and to tourists, especially those not driving on public road, those will be gone first. And then drivers, the jobs will be challenged. First, with driving in smaller, slower speed, predictable environments like forklifts, mines, and tourist spots. Then with highways. Highways are very dangerous for people to drive, but very safe for AI to drive because the variability is minimal. Then it will drive in cities with a very good layout and planning, not so much on small country roads and things like that. But gradually, in 15 to 20 years, humans won't drive anymore. So taking that as a job category, that's about 10% of human time. I'm not saying 10% of humans are drivers, but I'm saying 10% of all humans are spent operating some equipment that moves us around. So that will be displaced. So the questions to be asked are, is a job routine, repetitive, in fixed environments? If they are, then they're in significant danger. There are many jobs that are enhanced by AI. For example, a doctor can use AI to improve the diagnosis, thereby helping to treat the patient. And the doctor would spend more time interacting with the patient, comforting the patient, giving the patient confidence that he or she will recuperate. The jobs of a scientist will be augmented by AI tools that helps discover more discoveries, more drugs, and things like that. So AI will also help many jobs. And then you asked about whether AI will create new jobs. Absolutely, AI will create new jobs. If we look at a 30-year horizon, AI will probably create more jobs than it destroys. However, there are several problems to that. The first problem is the jobs AI create will tend to be non-routine, non-repetitive. Because if it were routine, repetitive, AI would just do it. So the jobs AI creates will tend to require some kind of education or training, not something someone can just go and do, okay? Secondly, we don't know what those jobs are. We know some, but we largely don't know. So you could say, Dr. Lee, you call yourself an expert and you don't know what jobs AI will create. That is true. Just like 20 years ago, if I sat here and you said, Dr. Lee, you call yourself an internet expert. Can you tell us what jobs internet will create? I couldn't. There's no way I could predict that today there are tens of millions of Uber and DD drivers because internet was created, right? Because without internet, there would be no Uber. But 20 years ago, one could not predict how Uber would came about. So the ability to predict what new jobs needs to be updated every year. So I have no doubt AI will create a lot of jobs, but they will take a long time for us to know what they are. They probably won't happen in the next 5 years, and they'll probably be very skilled jobs. So in terms of people who are in various jobs today, if you're in a routine job that requires no compassion or human-to-human touch, then that's an endangered area. You need to rethink about retraining into a job that will not be displaced in the next 10 to 15 years. And if you're in a job that requires considerable thinking, creativity, strategy, or human-to-human touch, then your job is safe, but be thinking about how AI can help your job. And if you're very young, a student in school, I cannot give you, these are the 10 jobs that will be big because of AI. But what I can tell you is, first, you have to hone your skills in creativity, strategic thinking, complex issues, and planning. Stay away from the routine work. And also think more about the human touch, how to win trust, how to communicate, how to work within a team. Those will be skills that will be useful forever. I can also suggest that you should learn a little bit about AI, learn a little bit about programming, learn a little bit for your area of expertise, whether you're studying in journalism or accounting, how to use AI to make your job better. AI is really a tool. Today, we cannot imagine a journalist who doesn't use Microsoft Word. We cannot imagine a advertising executive who doesn't use PowerPoint or some presentation tool. We cannot imagine a photographer who doesn't use Photoshop. See, AI is just another tool like that. So for various professions, learn about where AI can help you, see where those tools will come from, learn to use them, and I think these will fortify you and better prepare you for the era of AI.